Sustainability is at the core of our strategy. We have the ambition to lead the industry in decarbonizing, and we want to shape the industry in this direction. We have committed to 3 ambitious targets. The first one is to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions close to net zero by 2040. The second one is to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions by 45% by 2030 compared to 2022. And the third one is already in 2027 to be in a position to offer something we call a net zero service. Obviously, not all our operations are going to be net zero or close to net zero by 2027, but we want to be in a position to run part of our vessels with fuels that are as close to net zero greenhouse gas emissions already in 2027. As a first step in that, we have introduced something we call the reduced carbon service. This is verified by a third party, so our customers can take advantage of us using biofuel blends, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and then they can reduce their own Scope 3 emissions. In the long term, we are looking into renewing our fleet. We have already ordered 12 dual-fuel methanol vessels that are going to be part of our new vessels moving forward, and they will have the capacity to use other types of lower carbon fuels. And this is only the start of our fleet renewal that will be based on dual-fuel vessels.
Well, it was a number of motivating factors actually. First of all, signing this agreement fits very well with our decarbonization strategy and also our multi-factor pathway towards reaching net zero. And especially as biofuel blends are a drop-in fuel. It doesn't require any modifications to the vessels at all. It is an easy fuel to use. And for our chief engineers, using biofuel, it's actually business as usual. And in addition, even in the very early stages, engaging with our customers, talking about the use of sustainable biofuel blends, the response or the feedback we got from them was very positive. We are using this B30 to reduce our carbon footprint, and at the same time, as Christos mentioned, we are selling a carbon-reduced freight service to our customers so that they can reduce their Scope 3 emissions. And last but not least, when we are using new fuels, or any fuel for that matter, we have the strictest quality requirements. And that is why it's important for us to work with a supplier that we know and we trust to meet these quality requirements. Yes, actually we have. And we did our first biofuel blend trial with Exxon as early as December 2020 actually, where we tested 2,000 tons of a B45 biofuel blend. And that trial proved to be extremely successful. And gradually we moved from that first trial to ad hoc deliveries of B30 biofuel blends to where we are at today, where B30 biofuel blends is a regular part of our fuel mix. Well, using biofuel is the obvious first step for us in order to decarbonize our existing fleet. And in 2024, we estimate that approximately 10% of our total fuel consumption will be on B30 biofuel blends. We do have a clear ambition to increase these volumes as our decarbonization targets are getting stricter. But as for the future fleet, I leave to you, Christos, to elaborate further.
Yeah, so that's correct. We plan to further increase the use of biofuel blends in our existing vessels, all the way to the mid-2030s. In parallel, we start introducing from 2027 our new dual-fuel methanol vessels that will be running on lower carbon methanol fuel. And for the long term, we are also exploring all other fuel options that can be used to further reduce our greenhouse gas footprint.
Collaborations like this are very valuable and very important, as we need to work together for the next generation of sustainable marine fuels. And developing these kinds of new sustainable fuel types really requires the expertise and knowledge of companies like ExxonMobil in order to identify and to assess what are the best and most efficient feedstocks, products and process technologies. But at the same time having the possibility or capability to scaling up production so that these new fuels become available to the wider market. Furthermore, at the same time, we as ship owners, we really need to be proactive. We need to be willing to participate in field trials together with suppliers. We need to be able to participate with our vessels and with our knowledge, because we can't leave this to the suppliers alone. It's really a joint effort for the further decarbonization of our industry. But Christos, I'm sure you have a lot of points you would like to add here.
Yeah, I think these are very good points, and in addition to that, it's also important when thinking about the future, also beyond biofuel blends, to continue this type of collaborations, because we're talking about new fuels like methanol, maybe in the future ammonia. And for these fuels, we need also to build the infrastructure for producing the fuels and also the infrastructure for developing the fuels to vessels all over the world. So having these types of collaborations between fuel producers and ship owners, we are taking away some of the barriers and we are helping provide some certainty also to them that they can go ahead with their technology, developing the technology, developing the infrastructure, so that in hopefully the not too distant future we can have the fuels that we'll need to decarbonize our industry.